Good have Shabbos Young Israel. I hope all are well and stay so. Nice series of Mazel Tovs this week. Mazel Tov to Tamar and Dr. David Schwab on the bris of grandson B'tzal Yehuda born to parents Jesse and Minna Schwab. Mazel Tov to Susan and Dr. Richie Shannon upon the birth of bris of grandson Shmuel Gedalia born to parents Dr. Allen and Shira Shannon. And Mazel Tov to Andrea and Dr. Kenny Simkus upon the birth and upcoming bris of the grandson, the Shabbos in Efrat, born to parents Stephanie and Michael Osborne. May all continue to experience Nachas to Kedusha from their growing and healthy and flourishing Mishpachas of Yom V'Shalom Tovim. All are invited to our home this Friday evening to celebrate the Shalom Zachar of our new grandson born to Jed and to Yafa Zaslow. We're very proud of them and look forward to sharing many smachos together. Rashi, citing the Gemara Yavamis, notes that in introducing the prohibition against a Kohen defiling himself to a mace, to a dead body, so the Chumash tells us, Emor l'kan ibnei Aaron v'amarta aleihem. There's an Emor and there's an Amarta. Lahazhir gedolim al haktanim. That not only is one not allowed to himself be metame if he's a Kohen, but there's an obligation, a warrant, to make sure that his sons also follow suit and follow the halacha, not to attend funerals, not to be metame. Gemara Yavamis has two other examples of where the Torah is mazhir gedolim ala katanim, that's warned specifically the adults, the parents, to make sure their children don't engage in the prohibited activities. The second example is that of dam kol nefesh mikem lo sochal dam lahazhir gedolim ala katanim, that one's not allowed to drink blood. And not only is one not allowed to themselves, as to make sure that children don't. And finally, the third instance is with respect to the prohibition of shratzim, of insects, of creepy, crawly things. So the Torah tells us in Parashat Shmini, lo sochlum, which is understood, lo sachilum, not lahazhir gedolim al ktanim, not only to you refrain from eating insects, from checking your vegetables, but your children also may not consume shratzim. The Lubavitcher Rebbe Zechron Livracha would explain that the reason why the Torah singles out these three particular prohibitions, these three particular cases as paradigms, lahazhir gedolim al katanim, is that parents got to pay attention to their kids, to warn the parents that kids also got to follow the halacha, and to make sure that's the case, even though this halacha really applies to everything, because these are three instances in one might imagine that chinuch is very difficult and is almost helpless. Let's take the case of eating shratzim. So what kind of nut job is eating bugs? The kid's not normal. So you give up. The kid don't have a fighting chance with a kid who's eating bugs and eating rodents, eating shratzim. So the kid's completely abnormal. You can't be mechanech. Says the Chumash, no, lahazir gedal malaktanim. Or with respect to the prohibition of drinking blood. Drinking blood was an ancient idolatrous practice. So if a kid's drinking blood, that means that he's attached. He's been attracted to a different culture, to a different religion. You give up. You sit shiva, sachas v'shalom. We're mechanech under those circumstances as well. And finally, the case of Tumas Kanim. What's so bad about being metame? Going to do a mitzvah, going to levayish, uncovered for a mace, for the deceased. You're burying a mace. That's the biggest mitzvah. Why? Well, Kohen can't attend a funeral, can't be metame, can't go to a cemetery. That doesn't make any sense. It's a chok. You had to try to explain to a kid something that doesn't make sense, that there's no rational explanation. You have to understand everything. Everything has to make sense. Don't even bother. Kamash Malan says the Chumash that no, we're mechanech our children, we educate our children, even things that don't make sense. That's whether a case where there's no chance, a case where the kid is too far gone, a case where the kid obviously has significant emotional problems, a case that doesn't make sense. There's no such thing, says the Rebbe, of giving up on the chinuch of a child. The Chumash tells us, also in this Sedra, Eilam Adei Hashem Shetikru Osam Mikrai Kodesh, these are the Yamim Tovim, Shetikru Osam, that you are to establish and declare to be Yamim Tovim. Osam is spelled Aleph Saf Mem without the Vav, understood by the Gemara in Sanhedrin. Shetikru Osam, it can be understood Shetikru Atem, that you get to call, you get to decide whether it's Rosh Chodesh. Bezdin declares to be Rosh Chodesh, it's Rosh Chodesh, and even if they make a mistake, Atem Afilu Shogigim, you Not like Shabbos that's dependent on God, but Yontiv, you set the calendar based on the sighting of the new moon. The Bezdin decides when Rosh Chodesh is, and even if they make a mistake, I feel shalgigim, I feel mutim, and even they intentionally, I feel mizitin, they intentionally do the wrong thing. Still, Rosh Chodesh is binding as per the declaration of the Sanhedrin. Says the Barditch of Erav, if Chazal are willing to make such a drasha, where it doesn't even say Atem, the Chumash says Elam Adeh Hashem Shnetivra Asam with that above. Well, we read it Atem and Atem Afilu Shog, Afilu Mut Shogam, Afilu Mutim, Afilu Mezidin. How much more so when the Chumash in Parashas Re'eh in fact says Banim Atem, not Banim Osam. Banim Atem L'Hashem Elokechem. You are children of Hashem, and if in that case the Chumash says Atem. So Kal v'chomer, we should make the drasha, you're children of God, afilu shogegim, afilu mutim, even if you've strayed, even if you made a mistake, afilu mezidim, even if you have intentionally given up and left the path, still you're always children of Hashem, and hence we never give up. Have a great Shabbos.